The red crown was loving this. The one who waits was furious at the lamb. And the lamb, while not facing the one who waits, was grinning. Yes, this is good. May we return to Hyuga and Firetree? The lamb asked. They looked over their shoulder to lock eyes with the one who waits. They fluttered their eyelashes. This insolent little... The one who waits huffed. His rage was slowly burning down, but his patience for this social interaction was running out. I fail to see why I should entertain this notion any further, he warned. Did the little lamb truly forget who they were speaking to? His words seemed to shake the lamb a bit. Their eyes started away from their master. Lamb was getting nervous. Their heart was stammering against their chest. You care, or are at the very least interested in what I've been saying, the lamb insisted. The only response Lamb received was a deep growl. Lamb's ears rose up in fear. Master, please, Lamb whispered. Lamb's eyes followed their crown. The crown decided to float down to face the lamb. Lamb focused on the crown's beady eye. They breathed in and then out. Their thoughts were fragmented. If I keep pushing it... No, I need to do this. The lamb pushed on. The crown was bouncing happily in the air. It loved hearing the lamb's conflict. There was such determination and strength. The crown cheered internally for the lamb. If Lamb wanted answers, they would need to address their past. With a shaky sigh, Lamb turned to face their lord. They stared down at the end of their master's veil. My previous love, Lamb paused. They swallowed down the lump in their throat. Was never meant to last. That hurt. It was necessary to confess, but that didn't ease away the pain. Hopefully, this would seal that topic away forever. The one who waits sat up. Seeing his lamb like this, it didn't sit right with him. Yet you speak of an everlasting love, he said. The one who waits shook his head from side to side. He did not understand his vessel. How did they still have hope in love? Lamb looked up, and they met their master's gaze. Not my love, for Hyuga and Firetree, Lamb explained. They hadn't found their own everlasting love, but Lamb knew that Hyuga and Firetree did. I may not have experienced it myself, but I've seen it with them, Lamb declared. They knew it. They were certain of it. How naive of you to believe in such a thing, the deified cat replied. The one who waits scoffed. Such nonsense to believe in fairy tales. How did the lamb survive as long as they did with such silly ideas in their head? Huh? Lamb asked. They fell back into the cat's paw. This didn't make sense. Why was their lord so fixated on the lamb's belief in love? Lamb hadn't brought up their own love story. They came here asking for Hyuga and Firetree. It was only after their master read their mind did the lamb's own story join the conversation. Wait a heartbeat! Oh! Lamb gasped. They rested their paw over their heart. They couldn't believe it. You're worried about me, Lamb declared. That's why their master had gotten so upset. It all made sense now. I am not, the one who waits replied. He did not know how to respond to such a claim. Lamb couldn't contain their glee. They crawled across his palm until the one who waits was in reach. Lamb placed their paws on their master's veil, and then they rested their forehead against their master. Oh, thank you, Lamb said. They closed their eyes. They were smiling once more. Lamb's whole body felt warm. They felt so special. Someone was worried about them. The one who waits remained still. He felt warmth radiate from the lamb's touch. His chest was stirring. He wished he could feel the lamb's paws, with no veil between the two of them. What was the lamb doing to him? The one who waits narrowed his gaze. But he didn't pull away. Lamb leaned back, but their paws remained. They opened their eyes. They had a faint dusting of rose on their cheeks. Lamb was giddy. Their master cared for them. Running from one place to the next left little time for the lamb to build connections. They could count on one paw how many creatures had actually cared for them. And as far as it was known to the lamb, they were all gone. While I do appreciate the concern, the one who waits was quick to interject. Do not mistake my inquiries as concern. And the lamb was just as quick to reply. Hush, let me assure you, I am okay, Lamb promised. And they were. Mostly. They could handle their own past on a much later date. Lamb wanted to focus on the now, and grounding them to the present was feeling their master's veil on their lap. It was so soft. It had to be made of spider silk. It was so light. Their master's veil was on the lamb's... Oh! Lamb sat back on their hooves, and they yanked their paws back. Lamb did not need to. They had gotten a bit too carried away. Oh, dear. Hugo and Firetree, can you do it? Lamb asked. They were met with silence. The one who waits squinted down at them. Lamb flushed under such attention. The lamb's thoughts spoke volumes. Oh, my meadow, I am so close to my lord's face. Perhaps if the lamb upped their formalities, their master would answer. My lord, can you bring them back together? They asked once more. The silence remained. Had the lamb asked of too much? Had the lamb asked for too much? While the lamb remained stuck in the waiting game, and Ball were stuck listening in, and was getting rather annoyed. Master had done so much for the lamb. How could the lamb doubt their lord's abilities? Bring them back together? Repeated with a huff. Master could do that easily. Ball stared at his brother. He hushed his brother. Did not realize that he had said that out loud? Both cats jolted when they heard that gasp. They inched around to face the lamb. Lamb quickly rolled over and scooted down to face the boys. Lamb wiggled around the one who waits claws until they could poke their head between them. Lamb beamed down at and Ball. You two can talk? They gasped. Lamb was so thrilled by this, and their tail reflected it by wagging happily. Lamb gently pushed the one who waits them away so they could get a better look at the twin guards. I mean, it wouldn't matter either way, Lamb giggled. But it's cool to hear you talk. Do you two get the offerings too? Oh, maybe not, but I can bring you both something next time. Lamb continued on and on, baaing to almond ball. Truthfully, the lamb had no idea if they could actually bring anything into the gateway. They did know that they could try. Almond ball stared at awe at the lamb. And they weren't alone in that. As the lamb shared their plans to bring trinkets from the living world, because truly the boys needed a knucklebone set, the one who waits held on to their every word. The lamb seemed to be destined to be different than all who came before. No other vessel had spared a thought to Almond Ball. Perhaps the lamb should receive a reward for this. The demonic cat shifted his attention, his thoughts back to the lamb, who was still talking to the twins. "You can ask for stuff as well. I'll do my best to bring it here," Lamb chirped happily. They rested their chin on their arm. This would be so much fun. "Hyuga and Firetree, correct?" the one who waits asked. Oh, their master's talking. Huh? Oh, yes," Lamb confirmed. They glanced over their shoulder. They couldn't quite see him, so the lamb rolled over on their back. It took them a moment to readjust. They had just been making a list of things for the boys. But, okay, now it was Hyuga and Firetree time. "Hyuga past of old age?" the one asked. He was sorting through his own memories. "Ah, there he is." "Oh, yes, but Master, how did you—" "Bah!" Lamb gasped. They dove down and clutched on their master's paw. The one who waits lifted his free arm up from the sands and clouds. As his chains rose up, a burst of flames followed close after. "When devoted followers pass by sacrifice or by old age, they come right to me." As the one who waits spoke, a creature took shape at the heart of the flames. It was a brown dog with specks of gray in his fur. Lamb's eyes widened. Was that Hyuga? Hello, my lovely cupcakes. Elsie Rowe here, and I hope y'all have enjoyed this lovely episode of our show. And hey, welcome back to 2024's Cult of the Lamb YouTube takeover. I have been having so much fun with this takeover. Oh my gosh, the reaction videos have been so much fun. And getting to write this comic, I have just loved it. So this chapter in particular has definitely been one of my favorites. Mostly because we kind of get to see the relationship between the one who waits and the lamb actually start to build. And even if we're getting like drops, like we're getting the start of it. Because the lamb is very much where they're at right now. They are not used to anyone actually caring about them. They haven't figured out that Ratu, however you pronounce his name, actually cares about them yet. They're still in their pretty, I'm going to be late to work. It's fine. I can be a little late. I'll be fine, don't worry. But the lamb is really not used to that yet. And so even the one who waits, expressing a little bit of concern, even though he doesn't understand that emotion yet, they're deeply touched by that. And I think the one who waits doesn't know how to respond to that because he's not used to it. He has lived 1,000 years with his two children, his guards, which is wonderful. But he's not really used to that more romantic touch. And he's just like, huh? Even in this situation, even though it's not super romantic, yes, but it's closer to platonic at this point. But romantic-ish, we'll go with that. But so I think that was really fun to explore, especially because the one who waits, he's been stuck in such a state of rage. He's had a bit of calm moments with his kids, but he's been such a focus of rage that he hasn't really been thinking about like the romantic aspects of life. I don't think he's really thought about that. So the lamb kind of introducing him to pieces of this is very like, huh?
It's also a little bit of a trend where my version of The One Who Waits does not understand romantic connection. Sometimes, kind of. In this point of his life, he doesn't get it. Wait till he becomes Narinder and he's in the cult, and he's actually in the cult. He gets a lot better. But right now, he's like, huh? But the highlight, the cherry on top for this chapter was we got to see the boys. We got to see Am Ball. I love these two. I love the guards. I love the kits. I absolutely believe that they're Narinder's children. I love the boys. I love the boys so much. I love them. I love the boys. I think they're so much fun. I think they're so cute. I think there's some really cool symbolism in there too. And I love seeing the comics of people when they actually write the boys and they have them in their stories. I think it's so freaking cool. I could go on forever about this, but there's more to this comic. We have 2 chapters left and I am super excited. Fair warning, the next chapter, I'm gonna include a trigger warning beforehand because it talks a lot about death and the afterlife, and that's not the most comfortable thing to talk about. But it's gonna be for next chapter. For today though, I hope y'all are having a lovely day and I will see you next time. Bye!